Happy Tuesday, everyone. My name is Hayley, and I'm coming to you from Alchemy Online. So glad that you could join me this morning or at 12 o'clock, whatever time period you choose. For today's class, we're going to do some really big strength work into our core and into our legs with our warrior sequence. So like always, this is power vinyasa. You go at your own level, at your own depth, but my job is to push everybody into their full depth or closer to their edge than what they might normally do in a vinyasa class. So I'm all about holding poses longer, going a little bit deeper. But please go at your own pace. You can put me on pause at any time, take a break, then come right back to me. But I just ask that you stick with this class, you do the full hour with me, because really it's a sequence that's going to bring total body, arms, core, chest, back, legs, everything's going to work together. So let's go to our mat. For today, if you have 2 blocks, that would be great. If you don't have blocks, you could use cereal boxes, even pop bottles will work. Place your 2 blocks at the front of your mat. And then we're all going to begin on our backs, kind of where we start in Shavasana. So take a lay down. Spread your legs out nice and wide. You can walk your shoulders underneath you just to get rid of any bony. Let your arms kind of fall out wide. Now your hands can be facing down for a little bit more grounding. Or if you'd like me, you can take your palms and face them up. Just close your eyes and then just a quick scan of the body. Noticing all the parts of your body that are making contact with the mat. So starting at the heels, working up to the calves, maybe the backs of the knees are touching. You can feel the hamstrings. You can feel your glutes. You might even choose to move your hips from side to side, taking up a little bit more space, moving the fleshy bits out of the way. You can feel your lower back, your shoulder blades, your arms, elbows, forearms, back of your hands, your neck and the back of the head. Take a big inhale through your nose. And then open your mouth and just sigh it out. Another big inhale. Open your mouth and just let that go. And then start that yogi breath. That might choose to be Ujjayi breath, but that controlled breath, where you're lengthening out the inhales and slowing down the exhales. Working the inhales into the count of 4. Slight pause. And exhale to the count of 4. With a slight pause. Every inhale, you're filling the lungs up. And every exhale, you're pushing all the air out, taking your belly button to your spine, squeezing all the air out. Inhaling, filling the lungs back up. And exhaling. Noticing that with every round of breath, there's a more arriving into your body. A more awareness inside. Taking all the stress or anything that doesn't belong on our mat and just moving it aside. Knowing that thoughts might kind of creep in, but that's okay. Then we just invite them, thank them. And then our breath brings us back into us. Take 2 more nice, slow rounds of breath. And with that last full round, you might want to seal in your intention that you set at the beginning of the class. Just seal it in, bringing it into every cell, every molecule. Now inhale, float the hands up overhead and bring your big toes together. That morning stretch. You can take your hands and your feet and just shift them over to the right side of the mat, coming into that banana pose. Now you might notice the left shoulder came up off the mat. If it did, just push it back down. Maybe you've gone too far, but you want both of those shoulders to be resting onto the mat. For a little bit more, you can take that right foot and cross it over top of the left, just pulling that foot a little bit further over. Take a big inhale and fill up the left side of your lung. And exhale completely, squeezing all the air out, belly button to spine. Inhale, come back to center, and then walk everything over to the left side. You have to pick up your shoulders, kind of inchworm them over. Take the opposite foot, cross it over. Make sure that that left shoulder is still weighted onto the mat. Then inhale, fill up that right side of the lung. And exhale all the air completely. Inhale, back to center. Now, for some of you that have been in my class, in my studio classes, you know that we don't start on our back very often. But when we do, it generally means that we're starting with our ab work. So bend your knees, have the soles of your feet planted down onto the mat. There's a little, probably just more than 90-degree bend, kind of what we do when we're working into bridge work. Take the hands and bring them behind your head. You can interlace your fingers or just light fingertip touch behind the ears. And then from here, inhale, roll up to a half crunch. And then exhale, lower down. We're going to do 10 of these. We're going to come up higher than what we're used to, even making sure that the shoulder blades are lifted up off the mat. Exhale, lower. 8 more. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale. And exhale. Let's go for 6 more. Using your own breath, maybe playing with your breath. Maybe you like to exhale as you rise and inhale as you fall. Let's do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And last one, we're going to hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, roll the shoulders down, hug your knees in. A little bit of break. You can just sway side to side, letting all the tension out of that lower back. Okay, let go of your shins or your knees or whatever you had, and just bring your feet up. You're looking at a 90-degree bend through your hips and your knees. So your thighs here should be parallel with the wall behind you. Again, the hands come behind your head. What we're going to do is extend the right leg, keeping that knee bent at 90 degrees, bring the right elbow up to touch that left knee, kind of like a modified bicycle kick. Come back, switch the legs, take that inhale, and then exhale, twist, left elbow touches right knee. Inhale, back, switch, and exhale to touch. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's go for 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Whoo, hug your knees in again. A little bit of swing, rocking side to side. Okay, legs are going to be straight. Now, toes can be pointed, they can be flexed, or somewhere's right in the middle. I like to point my toes. Now, you can feel that lower back into the mat. Take the arms, or let them float up overhead, and then let the legs come down just to that point where you feel that lower back lifting up off the mat. If the lower back is lifted, just inch up, maybe 1 inch with the feet, and that's your spot. Now, some of us might be way down, others might be up here. Wherever you are, you're fine. If that straight leg is too much, you can put a little soft bend into the knees. Now, with the hands up over the head, let's inhale. Whoo! Hands come down by your hips, and then come back. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale to lift. Inhale, hands over. Let's do 8 more. Inhale. That's 7. Ooh, everybody feels this. 6. 5. 4. Keep the legs low. 3. Last 2. And last one, of course, we hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whoo, bend the knees in. A little sway side to side. Now grab behind your thighs. We're going to rock and roll, massaging out that spine. We're going to take 4. And then on the 5th one, we're going to land in that forward fold. You might need your hands to help you get there. Place the feet hip-width distance apart. Lift your tush up, and just forward fold. Walk the feet out to hip-width distance. Let your hands come to opposite elbows. And just ragdoll. There's a nice generous bend into the knees. Making sure that our blocks are accessible, nice and close. If you want to bring the blocks underneath your shoulders and let your hands fall onto them, that's fine too. Let your head go, shake it yes and shake it no. Maybe make some circles in the clockwise, and then opposite way, counterclockwise. Bring the hands down to the mat, or maybe down to the blocks. See if you can lift up that tailbone a little bit further, kind of flatten out that back, and then let the head drop down just a little bit more. Now inhale back to that full half lift. Straighten out the legs, flat back, shoulders are riding down your back, and the weight's up into the 4 of the feet. Bring your hands down right underneath your shoulder and step back to the high plank. We're going to work a little bit more into that core work. Now, making sure that your middle finger and your pointer finger is pointing straight ahead. And there's a little bit of a gap between each of the fingers. The hands aren't close together, nor are they spread so far apart that you feel like it's too much of a stretch. Those elbows are coming in. The shoulders are moving away from your ears, and the legs are engaged together. Pull those inner thighs together. You'll even notice there that it takes a little bit of the work. When we engage our legs, it takes a little bit more of the work out of the shoulders and out of the core. Now inhale that right leg up, and then exhale, bring it in right into the center of your chest. Now shoot it back. We're staying in plank. Now bring the right knee to the inside of that right elbow. Now shoot it back out. Take the right knee, touch the back of the elbow. Kick it back out. Now right knee touches the outside of the elbow. Shoot it back out. One more. Back into the center of the chest. And then out. And then down dog, or maybe coming down into child's pose. Yogi's choice there, whatever it does to take the tension out of the shoulders. Take that full inhale and exhale. This is a lot of work. We're asking a lot from our body at the beginning of the class, but engaging our core and getting this strong, I find, for me anyways, makes the rest of the practice nice and strong. Okay, inhale back to that high plank, adjusting wrists right underneath the shoulders, pulling the eyes of the elbows in so that they're facing forward, engaging those inner thighs together, feeling those legs. The kneecaps are lifted up off the knees, and the quads Whew, everybody feels that. Okay, inhale that left leg up. And then exhale, bring it into the center of the chest. Kick it back out. And then left knee comes to the inside of the left elbow. Kick it back out. Left knee touches the back of the elbow if it can. Kick it back out. Left knee outside of the left elbow. Back out. And last one, into the center. And then, kick it back, down dog, or let's all this time come in to child's pose. Maybe bringing the knees together and bringing the hands down by the feet. Reconnecting with that breath. Well, I've already got a sweat going. I hope you guys do too. Come up into tabletop position. Let's do a puppy dog. So the hips are right over top of your knees. Knees are hip width distance. Just walk the hands to the top of the mat, opening up the chest. Now, if you choose, if you'd like, you can put the blocks there and just let your chest fall down. Forehead might be floating, or it might come down to the mat. Tailbone is pointing straight up. This is a back bend here, but it's also opening up the chest, moving the shoulders away from the ears. If you want, your hands can come into that prayer, and you can bring your thumbs just to the back of the neck. A little bit more of a stretch into the triceps. Okay, move those blocks out of the way. Come back up into that tabletop position. And let's work into some chaturangas. Now, if you want that visual, you can take your block, and you notice for me a block is that perfect length of my forearm. So I'm going to put that just on either side of my mat, right by my hands, maybe just slightly ahead, more at my fingertips. Now that's going to be my visual on the chaturangas, how low we go from that high plank to the low plank. What I've noticed by watching myself in these videos, I've done it a couple times, I try not to, but I've always thought that I stop at the halfway, but I'm noticing I'm kind of still dumping down, and that really causes all that strain of going up into our up dog. So I'm going to use the blocks today. So let's bring ourselves to the high plank. Let's rock ourselves forward and back. Let's take about 3 or 4 times. Now let's push off the toes, lower our knees, and lower down just halfway. The blocks are there for visual. Good. From here, inhale, pull the heart forward, up dog, engage the legs, and then exhale to down dog. I'm going to do 5 of those. Inhale, roll forward, high plank, push off the toes, lower the knees, lower down on the exhale, halfway. Inhale, heart pushes through the arms, up dog, and exhale to down dog. Inhale, roll forward. This time maybe off the toes, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. 2 more. Inhale, roll forward, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, down dog. Last time. Inhale, roll forward, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale to down dog. Good work here. Look forward, come up high onto the tippy toes. Step first the right foot to the outside of the right hand, and then the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And here we find ourselves in that yogi squat. Now both, I'll face them. camera for you guys. Both of your heels should be down on the mat. If they're not, then take a little bit of a wider stance. The elbows are coming to the inside of the knees. You're sitting up nice and tall, and you're relaxing the shoulders down your back, tucking your chin under so we're not cranking our neck back, feeling a little bit of length up our entire length of our spine. That tailbone is pointing straight down, and the belly button's getting pulled right in towards your spine. Now we're going to add on to this. Again, for those of you that come to my class, you know where we're going with this. Take the fingers, interlace them together, except for your pointer fingers and your thumb. And then reach them up over the head. Now you're feeling the outside parts of the feet, feeling those outer quads pushing into the heels. Rise up, push to rise even higher, and then that full push, comes up to standing. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Take a full inhale through your nose. And exhale completely. I'm going to go back to pointing the same way you guys are. Take those interlaced fingers, pointer fingers pointing up. Inhale, reach them up overhead. And then exhale, lowering all the way down, nice and slow, feeling those outer thighs working. Hands come down to the mat. Step back with your right foot, and then the left foot. High plank to chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale to down dog. Just gotta move my blocks back out of the way. Inhale, high up on the tippy toes, looking forward to the thumbs. Bend your knee. This time, left foot steps to the outside, followed by the right. Lower the hips, interlace the fingers, reach them up overhead, engaging those outer thighs, pushing into the heels. Stand all the way up. And exhale. Hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, come down nice and slow. Inhale, step back, left foot, then the right foot, high plank, and exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale to down dog. We're going to do this a couple more times, but we're adding in a little bit more intensity. For this one, take the feet and just step them a little bit wide so that the outer edges of the feet come in alignment with the outer edge of the mat. Come up high onto the tippy toes, bend the knees, look forward, and hop. Feet to the outside. Inhale, interlacing the fingers, and push to rise up. And exhale, lower down. Still hands up over the head. Hands come down. You're going to hop the feet back, landing in a bent knee. Down dog. Push forward, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Did everybody get that? Okay, if you got that with ease, let's add a little bit more intensity into this. This time when we're hopping the feet forward and back, we're going to add a little clap of the feet. So the feet don't need to go wide this time. Keep the feet together. That'll make it easier. Inhale, high up on the tippy toes. Bend your knees, look forward, hop, clap the feet, and then landing in yogi squat. Inhale, rise up, and exhale, lower down, hands to the mat. Can you clap the feet again? Landing in that bent knee, down dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Good job, guys. Way to go. You can practice that again on your own. See if you can get a nice clap. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Bring the big toes together. And then inhale that right leg up to the sky, bending the knee.
opening up into fire hydrant pose. Letting that left heel drop towards the mat, keeping the gaze to the back of the mat, and both of your shoulders are pointing down. There's equal weight distribution across each of the hands. Lift the knee up even higher. Beautiful. And then exhale. Come forward into cheetah. This is where we're pushing the edge, pulling the knee up into the center of the chest, lifting the hips up high, protracting through the shoulders. Lots of room there for that right foot to place down right between the hands. Bring that back foot, left foot down into warrior 3 and just check. That front heel should be in line with the back arch. Bring the right hand to the inside of the foot. You might choose to bring a block there. And then inhale, peel the left side body back into that side angle. Keep that big heavy bend into the front knee. Feel the left inner thigh engaged. Really pull that muscle up to wrap that femur, that thigh bone, and then even push that left ankle towards the back of the room. Now you might even come up a little bit higher onto the fingertips. Take that top left arm and reach it overhead. Now you're feeling length across that left hip. Pull that shoulder back. Your gaze might even look up. Now that bottom hand, bring it up and then find that 2 arms holding the beach ball, both extending towards me. The gaze might come towards me now. Keep pulling that right hip back. And let's hold this for 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Reverse the warrior, and then straighten that front leg into reverse triangle. Nice little break on that front quadricep, all the muscles working in the core. Now inhale to full triangle. Right hand comes down, left hand first comes up, and again, those blocks are there. Bring it underneath that right arm. Let that left arm float up. You feel that length on the right side of the body. Take that top arm, reach it towards me. Feeling a little bit more strength. Tuck under that right hip. That might help with the left hip. And then notice, is that front knee locking out? If it is, put a little bit of bend. And then, because we always go to our edge here and we're working the core, take that bottom hand, and reach it towards the top, holding onto that beach ball for 3, 2, 1. Bend into the knee. Good job. Warrior 2. A little bit deeper. Now with warrior 2, we're looking at a 90-degree bend into that front knee. And then there's a pushing out, engaging that inner thigh and pushing the ankle to the back of the room, relaxing the shoulders and going a little bit deeper. Good. Feeling that strength on the quadricep, pulling the knee out behind you. Now let's go back into that side angle. Left arm reaches overhead, and then right arm holding onto that beach ball. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse triangle, and exhale, full triangle. With that left arm over, and then right arm reaches 2, 3, 2, 1. Bend into the knee, warrior 2. 1 full inhale, and exhale. Let's do that again, a little bit faster. Both arms reaching, holding onto the beach ball, side angle. And then let's go reverse triangle. Both arms back together, full triangle, arms overhead, and then come back. Warrior 2. One more time. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, full triangle, arms over the head, and exhale. Warrior 2. Windmill that back hand down. Both hands frame the front foot, and then sweep that right foot back and up, opening back up into that fire hydrant pose. Straighten that right leg. Come forward, square the hips. 3 points of contact. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to down dog. Good work there. Paddle the feet side to side, back and forth. And then stillness for 3 breaths. If you need a bigger break, then you know what to do. You go into child's pose. In this class, down dog is recovery, but I do know down dog many times does not feel like a recovery pose. So if that's you, take that child's pose. One last breath. Okay, big toes together. Inhale. This time, it's the left leg that sweeps up and back, bending the knee, opening up the hip into fire hydrant pose, letting that right heel drop down towards the mat, dropping that left shoulder so that the weight is equal between both hands, lifting up the knee even further. Squaring the hips, coming forward into cheetah, pulling that thigh up towards our chest, lifting the hips, protracting as high as we can, and then lots of room there for the left foot to come down. Bring the left hand to the inside, dropping that back foot like warrior 3, and then inhale, peeling right side body up, bringing a block there if you're like me, into side angle. Feeling the openness here, keeping that big heavy bend. Now coming up high onto the fingertips, a little bit more action into the core, still pushing that back ankle. This time it's the right ankle to the back of the room. Taking that right arm and then pulling it towards me, towards the front of the room, rolling that right shoulder back. Now really light onto the left fingers, and then take that bottom hand holding onto the beach ball for 3, feeling the shaking, 2, 1. Inhale, reverse warrior, straighten that leg into reverse triangle. Ooh, nice little break there into the legs. And then let's reach into full triangle. Bottom hand's gonna come down onto the block, making those little adjustments, and the top arm reaches straight up. Again, bottom left hip gets tucked under, giving room for the top hip to roll open. Gaze can come up. If that doesn't feel good in the neck, then the gaze just goes straight. But avoiding that left ear dropping down towards, we want to keep the spine nice and straight. Now take that right arm, reach it overhead. Coming up onto the fingertips, take that left arm and reach it for 3, 2, 1. Good. Inhale, put a bend into the knee. Warrior 2. And settle in just a little bit further. Little adjustments into the feet. If it felt too wide or too narrow. This Trikonasana, this triangle, is a really wide stance. Usually wider than what we do. I'd usually walk that back foot in. But we're going to leave it wide for this. Okay. Inhale. Back into side angle. Right arm's going to reach right over. Left arm's going to meet. 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Reverse the triangle. And exhale. Full triangle. Arm over. Left arm meets. 3, 2, 1. Bend into the knee back. Warrior 2. A little bit faster. Both hands together now. Inhale. Side angle. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, full triangle. And exhale, warrior 2. Windmill, back hand down. Sweep that left leg up and back, opening up the hip. And then straighten the legs, square the hips. 3 points of contact. Move through that chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale. to down dog. Good job, guys. We're going to move through that sequence a little bit faster now, adding on just a little one pose at the end. Take that big inhale through the nose and open your mouth and let it all go. Big toes together, moving through this faster, building some heat, building some sweat. Inhale, right leg up. And then exhale, pulling the knee into the chest, stepping it down. Right hand comes to the inside, feet are planted, and then inhale, wide, side angle, reaching the hands overhead. Good. Exhale, reverse triangle, and inhale, full triangle, arms over. And then back, warrior two. Let's do 2 more times. Inhale, hands up over the head if you can. Exhale. Inhale, triangle. And exhale, warrior two. 1 more time. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, full triangle. And exhale, good, warrior two. Straighten the legs, all 10 toes are gonna point towards me. Keep the hands up overhead. Pull the pinkies in towards each other. That's gonna relax the shoulders down your back. Bring the heels in and sit down into goddess. A little bit of movement here. And then there's stillness. Hands are staying overhead. Sit down even further. Tuck your chin in a little bit. Relax the shoulders. Pull those pinkies in even tighter for 3, 2, last one. Inhale, straighten the legs. Back to warrior two. Windmill that back hand down. Take that right leg. Bring it up and back, opening up the hip. Then square the hips. Vinyasa, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale to down dog. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, left leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip, and then exhale, squeezing knee into chest, set the foot down. Inhale, side angle, right arm over, left arm reaches, and exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, full triangle. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse triangle. Inhale, full triangle. And exhale, warrior two. Last time. Inhale, side angle. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, triangle. And exhale, warrior two. Straighten the leg. All 10 toes pointing towards the right side. Bring your heels in. This time your hands are going to come down onto the hips. You're even going to come down towards your knees, bending down into goddess. Now take that right hip, right shoulder, and dip it down into the twist, pulling that left shoulder back, maybe even gaze behind you. Inhale, square the shoulders. Exhale, left shoulder down, pulling right shoulder back, a little bit of a twist. Inhale. Now take the hands up and overhead, sit down even further, pulling those pinkies in for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, back to warrior two. Windmill, both hands down, sweeping left leg up and back, fire hydrant pose, straighten the leg, and then chaturanga, lowering down. Inhale, up dog, and exhale to down dog. Bring the knees down and back into child's pose. Great time to grab a drink of water. Good job, guys. Way to go. Okay, we're going to work a little bit more into a strength set, a little bit more into the core. But right now, we're just allowing the breath to come back to normal, the heart rate to come down. My knees are together, my hands are down by my feet, just letting the shoulders go. If you want to have those hands up overhead, maybe even bringing them into prayer and those thumbs into the back of your neck, you can do that. Whatever modification works for you. Let's Take 2 cleansing breaths. Inhale. Open your mouth and sigh it away. Another big inhale. Open your mouth and sigh it away.
All right, just sit up nice and tall. Those blocks, if you have them, might come in handy for this next little exercise. So this is kind of feeding on to that need or that desire for some of us to be able to do our handstands, and especially our press up to handstands. And this is something that takes a lot of people a long time to build. Not only the strength, it's not so much that we need a lot of strength. A lot of it is more the physics of how the body works, how we get our weight over top of the shoulders, and then how we engage that mula bandha to pull everything up and into center. So this is an exercise that I've been doing. Now, your blocks can come just kind of right behind your knees. Now, keep in mind, when the hands are planted closer towards our hips, it's going to be harder. The further the hands are planted from the hips, a little bit easier that they get. So I like to have mine where it lines up just kind of this side of my knees. And you're going to take the hands, put them either onto the blocks or onto the floor. The toes are tucked under here. And then from here, there's a pushing, there's a protracting of the shoulders. I'm going to move the blocks out of the way. But you're protracting the shoulders and you're hollowing out the inside of your body, pulling that navel into spine. The rib cages are coming together, and then you're pulling the knees up into the chest and lifting the hips. And then lower down. Okay, so adjust the hands. That was our practice. Do the hands need to come back? Do they need to come onto blocks? What do you think? I'm going to move my hands back a little bit. Make sure the fingers are just neutral, not too far, and we're gripping the fingertips here. When you're ready, on the exhale, lift the knees and lift the hips. Whoo! And then lower down. That time I was a little bit too close. I'm going to move the hands back out. Let's do it again. Take a full inhale, hollow everything out, lift the hips, and exhale. And then lower down. Okay, this time we're going to bring the right heel with us. So that right heel is going to stay glued, stuck to the glute. Okay, you guys got that? Hands down. When you're ready, hollow out that front side, pull that belly button into the spine, lift and bring the heel with you. Whew. And exhale, lower. This time, let's do the left heel. When you're ready, hollow out, push, protract those shoulders, lift the hips and lift the left heel. Good. Let's do one more on each side. Right foot. And left foot. Good. One last one for good luck. Lift both hips. See how high you can get. And exhale. Lower. Good job, guys. Thanks for playing. Take the hands, interlace the fingers. Do your figure eights. Let all that tension reverse. Good. Maybe shake out the hands if you're still feeling that. Waving hi to me, flicking the water. Okay, let's come back to our down dog sequencing. Lifting the tail. Bring the big toes together. Inhale that right leg up to the sky, opening up the hips first. And then exhale, right knee's gonna cross over and touch that left elbow. Pulling, protracting those shoulders again. Extend the left leg out. It's probably right at that hip. If you can bring it up higher towards the wrist, that's perfect. And then roll onto the inside of the left foot and open up into that fallen triangle. Lifting up the heart, lifting up the hips, and letting that left hand sway back. Left hand's gonna come down. Pull that knee into your chest and then plant it down. Left knee's gonna come down, and we're inhaling to that low lunge.
And just letting that exhale, pulling that right heel back, left hip forward, engaging, pulling the belly button into your spine so you're not arching the back. Take that inhale, look up, hands touch, and then exhale, hands come down. Let's push the hips back, straightening that right leg into half split. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, roll. Inhale to the flat back. Keep pulling right hip back. Exhale, roll. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, fold. Inhale with that flat back, come back into the low lunge. Take the hands up over the head, and then exhale, hands to heart center, and twist, crossing left elbow over top of the right knee. Pushing into that elbow. That top hand is on top of the bottom hand in prayer. You're rolling that right shoulder back. Tuck under your back toes, and then straighten the leg into that high lunge. Engaging, still pulling that right hip back, feeling the big toe of the right foot pushing into the mat. Let's hold this for 3, 2, 1. Both hands are going to come down, straighten that front leg, either maybe onto the blocks here, and then just walk that back foot in about a third of the way. This is full pyramid. Inhale to that flat back, and exhale, roll in. Bending that front knee, protecting that joint. Keep drawing right hip back, left hip forward. Inhale to that flat back. Now, we're going to go into a pose that I really don't like, but I figure there's a reason why I don't like it. It's obviously that I'm weak in the hips here, I don't know. But I figure whatever we don't like, we should be doing. Walk the fingers or the blocks about 1 foot in front of the toe, and then stand up into that warrior 3, supported, modified. Okay, let's do a revolved half moon. Bring that left hand to be in line with the right toes. And then take that right hand onto the sacrum, and a little bit of a twist here. There's a little bit of a bend into that standing leg. You might need to straighten it out a little bit more. Just find that comfort. Now that left leg is nice and straight. The foot is flexed. Go a little bit more into the twist, and exhale. Hands come down into that full split. Everybody feels that. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, full standing split. One more time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Step way back. And chaturanga. Now that would have been an opportunity if you wanted to take a hop jump into the handstand before the feet come down into the high plank. Good job there, guys. Paddle the feet back and forth. Big cleansing breath. And exhale. Big toes back together. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, that left leg. Sweep it up and back. And then exhale, pull left knee over to the outside of that right elbow. Squeeze the knee up and then extend the leg. Come to the inside of the right foot and open up into fallen triangle. Making sure that the left foot is either at hip or at the wrist. Lifting up the hips, letting that right arm reach back, opening up the chest. Take that inhale, and then exhale. Right hand comes down. Pull the knee up into your chest and place it down. Right knee comes down. Inhale, low lunge, and exhale. Pulling this time, left hip back, squeezing those inner thighs together, pulling that belly button in, and then inhale, lift the heart, close the hand, find that gaze, and exhale, hands down, straighten left leg, hips back, half split. Inhale, flatten out that back, and exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Last one, inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, flat back, bending back into that front knee, low lunge. Inhale, arms come up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center and twist. Right elbow crosses way over the left. Finding that heart center, lifting the belly up off the thigh, letting the hips drop a little bit lower, maybe the gaze behind you, tucking under that back toe, and then straightening that leg. Building that strength here. Keep pulling left hip back, right hip forward for 3, 2, 1. Hands come down. Straighten that front leg. Walk the back leg in. This is full pyramid. Inhale, flat back. And exhale, bend into that left knee and roll yourself in. Noticing is the sacrum, that flat part of our lower back, flat. Can I come around and place a glass of water without it falling off to the left? Usually it's the left hip that drops here. So you have to pull that, maybe bringing the weight forward to flatten out that area. Inhale, flat back. My favorite pose. I'm going to talk myself into this. Walk the hands up about 1 foot, maybe 1.5 feet, and then straightening, standing up onto the left leg. Little micro bend. Foot is flexed. Right hip is dropped. I'm going to put right hand onto the block. Move it in front of the left toes. And then left hand comes onto the sacrum. Revolved. Twisting, half moon. Whoo! Feeling that strength as well as the stretch. Keeping that back leg nice and straight. Foot is flexed a little bit further into the twist. And then both hands come down. Standing split. Inhale, lengthen, lift the leg higher. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale to length. Exhale to fold. Inhale to length. Maybe you might choose to find air. Whew. Or go straight back. Lost my mic. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog or child's pose. Let me just fix this. Whew. Back into child's pose. Letting the heart rate come back. Wiggling the hips. Maybe walking the hands off to the right, feeling a little extra into the left side of the body, taking that left hip, pushing it down and away just to intensify that stretch. Walk the hands over to the left. This time it's the right hip that's going to push down and away, feeling that nice stretch. Coming back into center, tucking under the toes, back to that down dog. And then from down dog, you're going to come up high onto the tippy toes, bend your knees, look forward, and then hop the bum through the hands and come all the way down on your back. Now, if that's not accessible, just make your way onto the back. Feet are solely planted, nice and firmly. All 4 corners of the feet, you should be able to feel into the mat. And they should be relatively close to the glutes. You should be able to touch. Going into bridge, walk the shoulders under and then lift the hips up high. Keep walking the shoulders a little bit further. Maybe interlacing the fingers together, pushing those pinky fingers down into the mat and lifting the hips up. Nice and high. Now the knees are tracking forward. The toes are pointing forward. Now you can't see it, but you can feel it. If those knees seem to be pulling out, engage those inner thighs together and keep everything tracking in one line. Lift the hips up even higher and then exhale. Lower the hips down. Just allow your knees to tent in. You can bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart center. Cleansing breaths here. Okay, option here is to do another bridge,
or to work into full wheel. So again, feet hip width distance apart, feeling all four corners, big toe, little toe, both sides of the heel, tucking in that tailbone, and then taking the arms up overhead for that full wheel, tucking the fingers in, maybe a little bit out. From here, lifting up the hips first, maybe landing onto the top of the head, and then there's that full engagement of the arms and the legs to push up. Rocking forward and back, opening up that chest. A little bit of rocking movement. 3, 2, 1. Pull the chin in, lower all the way down. This time, bringing the knees in towards your chest. Allowing yourself to sway side to side. Second chance here to do that little bit of a jump through, kind of what we did at the beginning. Grab the back of your thighs and rock and roll. Let's take 4. Now, instead of landing in that forward fold, we're going to cross the ankles, plant our feet, and try and jump back to that chaturanga. Cross the feet, plant the feet, and jump back. High plank, lower down. Inhale to up dog, and exhale to down dog. Inhale that right leg up to the sky, opening up the hip, and then squaring the hip back. Bring that right knee right up to the right wrist into pigeon. Walk that left leg back behind you, opening up the hip, maybe putting a block if you don't like that feeling, coming up high onto the tippy toes, maybe going for that balance, looking up, closing that space, feeling that little bit of compression into the lower back, and then exhale, sleeping pigeon. Blocks are there to put underneath your sternum. You can create a pillow by crossing one hand over the other. Big important thing here is to let the shoulders go. So whatever you need to do, whether that be with pillows, with blocks, just want all the tension to fall out your shoulders, to fall down your arms, down towards the elbows, and then into your mat. 3 more breaths. Now, if this pigeon is hard on your knees, you can always flip over onto your back. Do that reverse figure 4. Hands come under the shoulders, tuck under your toes, lift the hips back into down dog. I like to place my right knee just on the back of my left knee and just kick the leg out, bringing circulation back into that knee. Right foot finds the left foot, and then inhale, left foot up, opening up the hip first, and then exhale, bringing left knee up towards that left wrist, walking the right foot back, opening up the hip, maybe again using that block, coming up onto the fingertips, scissoring those inner thighs together, bring the hands up overhead. And then exhale, sleeping pigeon. Dropping the head down. Letting go of the shoulders. Feeling that tension fall from that middle of the back, right between your shoulder blades, down the backs of your arms, into your elbows, and then onto the mat. 2 more breaths. Inhale, hands underneath the shoulders. This time we're just rolling onto that outside of the hip, bringing both feet to the front of the mat, finding that middle, rolling all the way down, hugging both knees into your chest. We're going to do a supine twist, holding onto the right knee. Let that left leg fall down to the mat. Pull that right knee in towards the chest. even off to the side towards the underarm. See if you can pull it right in, feeling that compression right into that right hip. Now let the tension go, and then just let that leg fall over to the left. You'll come right up onto that left hip. If you want, you put a block right underneath the knee. And then take the arms out at a T. Now if that right shoulder's up, like mine, walk out the left shoulder. And then there's a little bit more room for that right shoulder to fall down. Let the palms face up. And then maybe if the neck mobility is there, the gaze goes in the opposite direction. Really deep twist here. That lower spine, mid-spine area. Inhale, back to center. Pull both knees into your chest. This time holding on to the left leg. Let the right leg slowly fall down. Pulling that left leg up underneath that left armpit. Squeeze it in. For some of us, we might even grab the bottom of the foot, creating even more of that compression into the left hip. Let that tightness go and let it cross over, bringing the block with you over to the right. Both arms out at a T. Walk that right shoulder out of the way. Let the left shoulder fall down and the gaze out over the right, or left, sorry. I like to engage that leg that is straight. So that right leg. I like to lift the kneecap up off of the leg, just engaging that quad and the inner thigh too. Come back to center. Find that middle of the mat. Bring both knees into your chest. And then reach for the bottom of the feet into happy baby. Rock side to side. Massaging out the adrenal glands, that lower back, kidneys. If there's any other pose your body is craving, maybe a shoulder stance or an inversion, then just pause me and take that time to do that. This is a bit of an inversion for me today. Let go of the soles of your feet. Let them just fall down into the mat. Let the legs fall out nice and wide. The heels are even going to be off of the mat. Lift up your hips, tuck them under, feel that lower back into the mat. Take the hands out nice and wide. You can walk out the shoulders. You're looking to fill up as much space as you can on the mat. Noticing, is there any bony areas of your body? Taking that big inhale through your nose. And exhaling, letting it all go, letting go of the breath into stillness. Here the mind starts to wander, maybe thinking about what's there left to do in the day. Hopefully for you it means enjoying the sun, knowing that the strength that you created today is strength that you can carry on throughout the rest of the day, throughout the week. Sometimes when we build the strength in the body, when we push ourselves to our edge, when we go a little bit deeper in our poses that we once did, when we try something new, getting over maybe of a fear of an inversion, or just being playful, all of that strength and awareness and courage doesn't just stay on our mat, it follows us through our day.
So in that today, I hope that you do something strong, something fun, something brave. Inhale, bring the toes back together. Let the arms come up overhead. Big morning stretch. And roll over onto your right side, bringing your knees into your chest, into that fetal pose. Just a moment here to maybe open your eyes and to rebalance. With very little strength and very little effort, bring yourself up into a seated position. You can bring a block. Choosing to sit up on the block just helps your hips to be above your knees. For me, it helps with that knee tension. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, filling up your lungs, and open your mouth and sigh it out. Another big inhale. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Bring your thumbs up into your third eye. Bow your head down. The light in me honors and sees the light in each and every one of you. I'm always so fully honored that I'm allowed to come into the space and to guide you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste. Have a good day.